You all want men with penises, chicks with dicks, in the bathroom with us. You want women to be forced to undress.
Think about it, 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 think about it.
What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside. I want to share this video because we see a meltdown in our Congress where two women we have that are arguing over an issue where one throws violent words against one another, and the display of behavior I find very, disturbing when it comes to two women and how their actions are. Now, I know many people are going to say that, well, men act the same way. I remember, because I'm 58 years old, how a gentle, feminine woman was. Not to say she was a pushover, not to say she had to remain quiet, but we're talking about a woman who did not use such vulgar and profane words. But because now, working in a man's world of society, many women believe that they have to put on the suit and put on the masculinity in order to survive in a predominantly controlled man's world. But it's very disturbing. And I want you all to check this video out, how one, Nancy Mace, comes at Congresswoman Crockett, and yet the voting members decide that there was no ill will intent of violence that are there. Now, I'll say, had the tables was turned and it was Miss Crockett who had made such violent words against Miss Mace, what would the vote have been? I know we live in a day where everybody is saying that we're all equal, which is far from the truth. We are different. Everybody wants to say we bleed the same. No, cows and pigs bleed red too. We're not the same. We have different backgrounds of whether it's culture, whether it's the isms, the classisms, the colorisms, whether it's even your financial status, whether it is your religious status. There are differences in how we are, and we should appreciate that. But the behavior of how supposedly those who are establishing rules and laws, and yet there is a breakup or divide and can't come to a place to respect one another, is nothing more than what Scripture has said: when a house is divided, it shall fall. Check out the video. I'll be back.
The one thing that we could do, the very small thing that we could do, is have a little bit of courage and decide that we are going to reinstitute this particular subcommittee, because unfortunately, I don't see the type of courage that the people that served back in the 60s had coming out of some of our colleagues. And so I'm asking you to do the courageous thing today and just institute a subcommittee that would make sure that we are looking out for those protections of everyone in this country, to make sure that we have real freedom, something that we all supposedly espouse to believe in. And with that, I will yield.
Mr. Chairman.
Gentlelady's time's expired. Any member seek recognition?
Yes.
Mr. Higgins? Oh, Ms. Mace was first. I'm sorry. Ms. Mace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I don't know what's going on today. I find it extremely rich and offensive. So we're talking about civil rights. I'm the former ranking member on the Civil Rights Subcommittee, something I believe in civil rights and civil liberties of all Americans. And we were talking about infringement of individual people. Also, quote, the right to privacy of individuals. Coming from a party that can't define what a woman is and won't give women the right to privacy. You all want men with penises, chicks with dicks, in the bathroom with us. You want women to be forced to undress in front of men in the locker room and in dressing rooms. And it's so hypocritical for you to sit here and say and be, screaming from the rooftops about the right to privacy and civil rights,
when you don't respect women. And you don't respect women who've been raped, women who are victims of sexual abuse. And you want me, a victim of rape, a survivor of rape, to go into a locker room and be forced to undress in front of a man? You have to be effing kidding me. So I don't want to hear about you talk about rights, individual rights, civil rights, because you can't find the courage from the 60s to fight for women all around America, fight for women like me, every single woman. And as a rape survivor, I shouldn't have to explain to you why women have rights and why women, when we're in the bathroom, when we're in the locker room, when we're in a dressing room, why I don't feel safe when there is a man nearby. And the fact that we're going here and we're going to say all these things is the ripeness of hypocrisy on the Hill. People need to tell the truth. And if we're going to talk about the rights of individuals, we have to talk about it. Everybody has rights, including women. And at some point, men are infringing on the rights of women. We just had it today. We just had a vote about protecting women and girls in sports. And I believe it wasn't one, it was two people from the Democrat Party who voted to protect women's rights in sports today. Two. Yeah. So this is, Mr. Chairman, this is a deeply offensive conversation to me today. We want to talk about real freedom. Women have freedom in this country. Women have the freedom to go to a private women's only space and not see a man in it. Women have the right to change and not be feared that somebody with their sexual perversion, someone who's confused about their gender, we have the right to feel safe in these spaces. We have the right to know that we're not going to have trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces, in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation. You're doing it in your messaging. You're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country even greater than they've ever been. So don't come over here with your attitude and talk to me about rights when you're trying to take my rights as a woman, a rape survivor, away. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Any member seek recognition? Ms. Stansberry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the gentlelady across the aisle demonstrating why we need civil rights. We need civil rights to protect all people, especially trans Americans who are under attack right now. I would like to yield the rest of my time to the gentlelady who is carrying the amendment.
I don't even know how we got there because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, trans, trans so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not.
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
Order,
am
please.
reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I
Order.
am not a
Chairman,
child.
I am
not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr.
we can
Chairman,
do
the
that.
committee is not
Okay.
in order.
All right. Order.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
No, point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point.
Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member? I mean, she said she wants to take it outside with.
Hey, I have the
Crockett.
First Amendment right too,
And
young
so
man. I have the
I'd like
First
those
Amendment
words
right.
to be
I'm not
taken
gonna be a
down.
child.
I
I'm
am
not gonna
moving
be
to have
called a
those
child
words
by
taken
any
down.
of
I
you.
believe it's against the rules to
Going
incite
outside doesn't
violence
incite
against
violence.
another
You should have a
member of
conversation
Congress.
that isn't
The committee will
interrupting this
suspend.
committee.
The member will state the words he wishes taken down.
Where she said that we can take it outside, which is direct violation against the rules, inciting violence against another member.
What rule? What rule? Cite the rule.
How does that incite violence?
Mr. Chairman, there are, if I might point out, Mr. Chairman, there are decorum rules in the House of Representatives.
And the two parliamentarians are discussing this right now. We'll suspend for a second. All right. The chair's going to make a rule. What the gentlelady said was, we can take this outside if you want. And
Okay, so-
that could mean you could go outside and have a cup of coffee or perhaps a beer, or, you know, I mean, we have
Seriously,
Mr.
lots of
Chairman.
conversations outside. So I'm going to rule that that it was just
that it's okay.
that it's okay.
All right, and then point of inquiry.
And remember, this is a slippery slope you're going down, because we have
Oh, you're
disagreements
going
in
down
this
the
committee,
slippery
as you
slope.
know.
So just to be clear, in this committee, we can ask, we can
Apparently.
threaten violence on someone as long as
no,
at the
that's
end-
not-
excuse me.
I did
long
not
as at
threaten
the end-
violence.
excuse
I
me,
threatened no
excuse me.
violence.
There was
I
no
threatened
violence.
no
There
violence.
was no violence.
long
no
as
violence.
at the
Don't
end-
create a
I
false
threatened no
question
violence.
that
No,
was
I-
over
none.
another
You're
person.
making shit up as
It's
you
good
go
to know.
along. You
Good
might
to
want
know.
to figure this one out.
Order. There was
Mr.
no
I thought you were
Chairman.
cursing today.
no violence.
What do you think? Let me say this right here in closing. I think it's despicable that you can hear people that many people have voted in to be their representative carry on in such fashions. And to make threats and to, argue and fight against one another when it should be a civilized meeting, we find that they are acting more like children in elementary school. I hope one day that we all come to the senses to realize that this whole democracy that we call the rights for every man and woman and child to experience with liberties is not fair and not equal to all. And when we sit back and we know that, Congresswoman Mace was basically set free from her willful attack, is just another sign that we have a long way to go in damn Erica. Put the D in front of America and capitalize the E, damn Erica. This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside.
Think about it, 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 think about it.